And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is swamped. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y creative.co. Or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching at murdycreative.co to see the best of our product shots. Follow us, keep up to date with our daily photos, and be the first one to know about new product launches. You can also use the subscribe button at the bottom of our website to be included in all of our new product announcements. Be sure to check out our laser engraving personalization options and exclusive colors on the website, or you can get a blank one on Amazon Prime. All right, so first and foremost, thank you to everyone who's participated in the sale. It has been an amazing opportunity for us. It has been obviously a wonderfully received opportunity for you guys. For those of you who haven't heard about it, we are launching new binders. We're very excited about the new binders. But before we launch the new binders, hopefully next week sometime, we need to get rid of the old design that's on the shelf. And so in that vein, we are actually putting all of the pre-engraved and imperfect collections of all of our binders 40% off. It's actually the biggest sale I think we've ever done as far as like the discount amount. And I don't think we're going to do it a lot. I actually don't think we may do this particular discount for a long time. I could be wrong, right? Life changes. But in light of that, it's definitely something that you should take advantage of. We don't have much left. I'm surprised. And that's actually the topic for today, because Meryl and I, right? Meryl's the production and director of production and operation. She's my right-hand person, and she's fantastic at her job. And we'd sat down last week. Well, we planned on doing this about a month ago when we got the designs back, but we sat down last week and we said, all right, what do we think is a reasonable expectation for this? You know, we have a ton of inventory sitting on the shelf. There's a lot of pretty much everything. And, you know, based off of our prior sales for our binders, based off of the number of people that have, you know, asked about them, what do we think is a reasonable amount to expect? And we came up with a couple of different numbers, and, you know, I'd come up with a range. And so she ordered the raw materials for that range, right? Because you don't want to over order materials. And so we'd worked with our supplier, and ironically, when we talked to our supplier about what we were going to order, they were like, "That's pretty much all we have, and we're not going to get more till, you know, next week." So that was last week, and they sent us everything they had, and we got ready, and we got prepped, and at the very last minute, there was this error, this glitch in our website that made it so we couldn't put certain things out of stock, and it was one of those things where it was like, Meryl texted me, she goes, I don't think God wants us to do this sale today. Because we'd been trying to launch this sale. We were hoping to launch it on the 14th of July. That's when this was supposed to happen. And it just kept getting pushed back. At first was by COVID, and then we had supply chain issues, and so I said, you know what, we're going to go ahead. We've got to get this, we've got to trust that Wix is going to get this fixed fast. And they did. Thanks to them, and thanks to all of the team, if any of them are listening, who helped make that happen. So they did get it fixed relatively quickly, and we were able to proceed. But boy, did I not expect what happened. So we sent out an email, and we did a text message, and we did a post on Twitter, and we did a post on Instagram, and we did a post on Snapchat. So we hit most of our major platforms. And when I announced it, the response, it was like 3:30 or 4:30 Central Time on Friday, right? So it was later in the day. The response was overwhelming. Instantly. It was like we just saw just the ding ding. I mean, the orders just came flying in. And about 9:30 that night, the sale had been going on for about 5 hours. At 9:30 at night, I texted Meryl. I said, I think we're going to be off. She goes, we'll see. Maybe. Then the next day, we looked at the numbers, and I'm like, we're definitely going to be off. Over the course of Friday and Saturday, right? So essentially, the email was at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So in a total of what was essentially 8 hours that night and the 24 hours after that. So in the course of about 32 hours, we did more orders. We had more sales than the entire weekend of Black Friday. That's Black Friday through Cyber Monday of 2019. That was 2 days. It didn't necessarily slow down that much. It did taper off a little bit. We saw a massive spike the first day. The first day we sold about 10 times what we normally sell in a day. Next day we sold about 5 times what we normally sell in a day, give or take. For the summer, I should say. The numbers change a little bit during the summertime, and then pretty much every day since then, we've sold about 3 times, 2 to 3 times our normal average daily sales. And that's great, right? That's a huge win for us, right? I'm so pumped. But boy, does it bring its own challenges, right? It's funny. I was talking with Meryl. It's like feast and famine with this company. There are times when it's like, things are just overwhelmingly good. And it's just, we have a flood of orders and there's just so much work to be done. And then there's other weeks where it's like, the people are playing cards because it's so slow. I mean, like, it's just crazy the change that happens. Now we've got an excellent team, and the team has been incredibly flexible with their ability to, and their willingness to scale up and scale down on their hours, which has been incredibly helpful for our small little company. But this was actually something that I think it's happened enough now, or I think it actually is. It's something I should expect at this point, right? Before, when it happened, when we cleared out all of our Christmas inventory, that was a shock. Then that was a surprise. And it really caught us off guard. Like, we were wildly caught off guard. And that's why those lead times were absurd too. But it's happened now enough where I'm beginning to think that it's actually probably the norm for us, where every time we do a big sale, it's likely that we're going to see a big swamp. And I don't want to do big sales. I don't like doing big sales. I think that they degrade the brand, and I think they do a disservice to the members of our community who have supported us all along and paid full price. So I don't like doing sales, and I don't want to do them that often, and I don't intend on doing them that often. I know I've gone back and forth on this particular point quite a bit, but I think it's noticeable when we do put sales into effect that they have an effect. Well, it's been surprising, and I think, and so first and foremost, like, how do we deal with that, right? How do we deal with the incredible change that comes across us when we have this amazing opportunity, right? We have this good news. This particular time of being swamped was actually also a little bit unique. We obviously are selling the pre-engravings and the imperfects. The pre-engravings take a ton of laser time. I mean, if you think about the difference in engraving time between a little name and an entire page, it's very different. So that actually has been a unique challenge. One of the first things we did was we realized that the engravings, for example, some of the engravings, like a double-sided, like a Da Vinci Anatomy, a double-sided full-page engraving can take up to 2 hours, an hour each side, for each one. And we have 4 machines that are working. Well, that means that in an 8-hour workday, if you did nothing but those pre-engravings, you'd only get like 16 things made. That's not many. Definitely not enough for what we need to be doing. So what Meryl and I talked about is I actually go into the workshop all night. Every hour or so, I go into the workshop and I change over the pre-engravings to the next side. I just do that all night till till usually 11 or 12 o'clock. And then, because my 7-month-old son has not figured out that 5 a.m. is not a good time to be awake, I'm normally up between 5:30 and 6, depending. And I'll go in 6 and I'll put more on, and 6 to 8, 8 to 10, we'll just run those, so that when the employees do get in, they have a little bit of time before we need to start engraving while the engravings are running, where they can get organized and we can get our days set. But by doing that, right, by working all the way in the evening and in the mornings, we're actually able to basically double our daily output for what the pre-engravings would be. And that's actually been really key. That's been an important strategy. So by doing that, we've actually helped keep the engraving machines running longer than they normally would. We talked about adding more engravers, but we're in this really small workshop and we're really cramped as is. And I don't know if we could really put another engraver in. I don't know where we'd put it. So we're kind of limited in that. And on the other side of things, for the most part, normally during our normal operations, 4 engravers is plenty, right? We don't normally run at full capacity. So that's part of the swamped, is to change the way we do it for our hours. The second thing that we've been really working on is we've really specifically streamlined a lot of the way we do production. So when things are slow, you will have some orders be a number 3 folio executive, a number 2 journal classic cut, right? You'll have a variety of different things, which means that each individual, team member can, take an order from start to finish. Evan does the engraving and Morgan often puts things together. And so we'll have a single thing go through the entirety of the process and then get packaged and sent. During this time, though, when we have so many of the same thing, it's actually pushed us to implement more of an assembly line-esque process where we do a lot of the similar things at the same time so that we can keep the same raw materials in front of us and the same things. I normally don't spend a lot of time working in the workshop putting books together. Normally I'm working on the administrative stuff, the financial stuff, the marketing stuff, all of that, administrative nonsense that is important and needs to be done. But now recently I've actually gone up and worked in the workshop. And so that's been something that I've been doing. So these are all like little things that we've been doing to get caught up, and we're going to get caught up. It's an inevitability. I'm not willing to let us not get caught up. So we have expanded our hours. We've been changing the way we do things. We've been changing our processes, and we're getting faster. Our output yesterday was twice that of the day before. And, that day before was twice or 3 times what we would normally do on a normal day. So we're really spooling up the process, and I think we're going to get caught up hopefully by next week. That's my hope. By the end of next week, we'll be caught up. And at that point, we'll be launching our new binders. So for all I know, we're going to be back into this new thing as the new binders launch, because they're very exciting and they are a better option. So there's a lot of cool things coming down the road. When I launch the new binders, potentially next week, I want to go through what is going to be different on the product pages, because we've got a lot of new opportunities with this particular design to allow you guys as the users to just customize it out of the box before it even, without having to communicate with us or anything like that. It'll just be able to be customized on the website. So I'll cover that probably in our next topic, unless something amazing happens and I want to cover that instead. But I really appreciate all of you who've supported us, and I appreciate your patience as we work through getting caught up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to check back in on Tuesday for our next topic. Don't forget to check that subscribe button, though, to get, the information about the latest podcast. Be sure to turn on the alerts so you get notified. I have been doing my best to stay on top of these, but time to time things change. So I really appreciate those of you who've subscribed. If you have any questions or concerns about either the binder, journal, folio, mask, anything else, feel free to reach out to us on the main page of our website at Murdy Creative Co. You can also contact us via Instagram, Facebook. You can text, email, call, direct message, all the usuals. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, but I appreciate your patience. You can also text us at our company number, 414-434-9001. You can text us directly. So obviously, if you have a question or something like that and you want something quick answered, it's an easy way to get a hold of us. If you think we deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow our new community. So if you want to leave a review on the podcast, please do so. It really helps, and I read them, and I enjoy them. But if you want to leave a review on the product, you can go to facebook.com/murdycreative.co, or you can type murdycreative.co into the search bar. On the left-hand side of the page, there's a reviews button. Click on that reviews button, and it says, do you recommend the Murdy Creative Company? You can click yes, and then type your review. You can also read all of our amazing 5-star reviews. They're just so encouraging. We normally post them in the workshop, so all of our team members see them, and it's something that we're thrilled to have happen. Word of mouth is still the best form of advertising, though, so please tell your friends. If you want to use the referral thing on our website, be sure to log in so that you can create an account. It automatically creates that. Then you go to the rewards button in the bottom left-hand corner. You click on that. There's a referral link. If you send that referral link to a friend, they get $5 off their first purchase, and when they use that, you get $5 off your next purchase. So be sure to check that out, and it's really kind of exciting. So tell your friends. If you have any podcast topics you want to hear more about, send them my way. I am always happy to engage with you guys, give you guys what you're looking for. So if you got questions, leave them in the comments below, send us an email, whatever the case may be, and I'll definitely take a look at it. And if it's good, I'll work on answering it. If you are looking for multiple binders, journals, folios, masks, anything like that, for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, ask about our bulk discounts and custom engraving. We can do custom logos, custom designs. So send us your stuff, and we'll be able to make that happen. You can send any request to sales, S-A-L-E-S, at murdycreative.co, and we can make sure to take care of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.